They told him he wasn't big enough, not fast enough, not meant to play safety in the NFL. But now, Julian Love is finally getting the respect he fought so hard to earn, and it's coming from the top. For years, Julian Love was overlooked. A cornerback in college, doubted by scouts, passed up by teams who saw him as just another body in the secondary. But in Seattle, something changed. He didn't just survive, he transformed. And now, in 2025, he's finally breaking through the noise. ESPN just dropped their annual safety rankings, and guess who cracked the top 10? Julian Love. Not just among free safeties or strong safeties, among all of them. That's elite company, and it's a testament to the work he's put in since arriving in Seattle. An unnamed NFC executive didn't hold back. Range, dart combo of physicality and ball production, he's developed into a high-end player. Remarkable, especially for a guy who played corner in college. That's the kind of praise you can't fake. It's earned. And Love has done that the hard way, stepping into a defensive backfield that's been in flux for years. With Seattle moving on from stars like Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs, and new names like Ron Jenkins and Nick Minori entering the mix, Love has become the quiet constant, the reliable presence, the glue. He's not the loudest guy on the field, but his play speaks volumes, and the league is finally listening. Every team needs that one guy, not the loudest voice, not the flashiest name, but the one who shows up every single week, the one you can trust when everything else falls apart. For the Seattle Seahawks, that guy has been Julian Love. Through all the changes, new coaches, new teammates, a revolving door in the secondary, Julian Love has been the rock. He's been the steady hand guiding a defense that's gone through storm after storm. And the numbers don't lie. Since arriving in Seattle, he's racked up 7 interceptions, 22 pass breakups, and 232 tackles. He doesn't just make plays, he ends drives. His 21.8% ball hawking rate last season wasn't just good. It was the best in the league among safeties with 50 or more targets. That means 1 out of every 5 passes thrown his way. He disrupted it. That's elite. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler said it best. Love used his time in Seattle to launch his career to another level. The Seahawks saw it too. After signing him to a modest 2-year, $12 million deal in 2023, they didn't wait long. Just 16 months later, they locked him in with a 3-year, $33 million extension. That's not just money, that's trust. And it's well earned. While other stars came and went, Leonard Williams came via trade. Ernest Jones came via trade. Love was the one the Seahawks chose to build around. Not because he's the loudest name in headlines, but because he shows up every week, ready to do the dirty work. And maybe the most important stat of all? He hasn't missed a single game since joining Seattle. In a sport where availability is everything, Julian Love has been the definition of dependable. You can't teach that. You can't buy that. You earn that. And he has. Even Seahawks Wire, a publication that rarely uses emotional language, called him what he truly is, a stabilizing force. They're right, that's exactly what he is in a position group that's constantly shifting, with Ron Jenkins being let go and Kobe Bryant stepping into a full-time role. Love has been the one who keeps the room grounded. So here's the real question. Is Julian Love truly a top 10 safety in the NFL? To Seattle fans, the answer already feels obvious. But what about you? Is it time we finally put respect on his name? Because when everything feels chaotic, Love is the one who keeps this defense standing tall. Every championship defense has that one piece no one talks about, but everyone relies on. That's Julian Love. While the Seahawks made headlines by drafting the hard-hitting Nick Manbury in the 2nd round, even trading up 17 spots to get him, the real anchor in Mike McDonald's new-look secondary remains the same, Julian Love. The flashy rookies may get the hype. The big trades may steal the spotlight. But Love? He just goes out there and plays smart, physical football every single week. And it's not just Seahawks fans who see it. Pro Football Focus recently named him the most underrated player on the entire roster. But let's be real, he's not just the most underrated Seahawk. He's one of the most overlooked players in the entire NFL. Think about this. How does a guy who played like that in 2024 have only one Pro Bowl selection? It doesn't make sense. Puff broke it down with the numbers, and they're insane. In 2024, Love finished with an overall grade of 81.2, sixth among all safeties. He was one of only two safeties in the entire league, along with Kyle Hamilton, who ranked top 10 in both run defense 89.5 and coverage grade 76.1. That's rare. That's elite. And that's exactly why Love is so special. He's not a specialist. He's not a guy who's only good in one area like Jamal Adams was. Love doesn't just rush the passer or sit back deep. He does everything. Run defense, zone coverage, man coverage, open field tackling, and most importantly, consistency. You want a guy who never takes plays off? That's Julian Love. He's a leader without shouting. He's physical without being reckless. And he's the kind of player who makes everyone around him better, just by doing his job the right way. Honestly, if I had to give him a nickname, it would be the Constant, because no matter who's beside him, rookies, vets, even changing coaches, Julian Love is always there, dependable, composed, and playing at a high level. Let's have some fun with this. Seahawks fans, let's settle it. Do you believe in Julian Love? Type B for believe, or D for don't. Be honest. Be loud. Let's hear what you think in the comments. Because from where I'm standing, Julian Love isn't just underrated. He's essential. You want the truth? Julian Love has done everything right, and yet somehow, he's still flying under the radar. Consistency, health, durability, leadership. Pick one. Love checks every single box. But here's the part people forget. He's only 26. Just now entering the true prime of his career. Drafted in 2019 by the Giants, Love was a fourth-rounder out of Notre Dame. A quiet worker. A guy who wasn't hyped up like a first-round pick but never missed a step. He built his resume the hard way, with clean tackles, clutch moments, and a relentless motor. And then, he took the leap in Seattle. He was good in New York. But in Seattle, he became a cornerstone. Let's break this down. In 2021 with the Giants, 66 tackles, 7 pass breakups, 1 interception. Solid. In 2022, he jumped to 124 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, a sack, 5 pass breakups, and 2 picks. That's when people started paying attention. And then came the move to the Pacific Northwest. And the Seahawks knew exactly what they were getting. I remember when Seattle signed him. Even Giants fans were crushed. One of them said, "You guys got a good one. This guy makes your team better." They were right. In 2023, Love exploded. 123 tackles, 10 pass breakups, 4 interceptions, and his first Pro Bowl nod. And what did he do for an encore in 2024? Played every game. Again, put up 109 tackles, 12 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, and remained the heart of the Seahawks' secondary. Just steady. Game after game. Want even more proof? Let's look at the numbers that matter. Completion percentage allowed. 60%. You can live with that. Receiving yards allowed. Just over 400. Touchdowns given up. 6. Quarterback rating allowed. 89.3, under 90. That's solid. Now the nerd stats, as some call them. Overall defensive grade puff. 82.2. Run defense. 89.5. Coverage. 77.4. That's elite territory, again, without all the noise. And now, as we stare down the 2025 season, Julian Love isn't just playing in the secondary, he's leading it. Yes, Devin Witherspoon might be the rising star. Yes, Tarek Woolen still has the length and potential. Yes, Kobe Bryant and Nick Emanwari bring energy and youth. But Julian Love is the glue. He's the leader, the veteran, the calm voice that brings order to chaos. He's the player you trust when it's 3rd and 7 and the crowd is screaming. He's the one you count on to make the right read, the right tackle, the right call. And in a secondary filled with playmakers, sometimes it's that constant, that steady hand, who becomes the difference between good and great. That's Julian Love. And Seattle is lucky to have him.